We were in Kyiv the day the full-blown war started. I'm the only foreigner in the PGA of Ukraine. My wife Anna is also a member. We woke up to the sound of incoming missiles and news of an attack on the capital from Belarus, just 90 clicks away. It was madness getting out of Kyiv that day. I mean, we were still dealing with COVID-19. So we had a pandemic and a war at the same time. It got so bad, you had to keep social distancing between you and anyone trying to kill you. A few days later, we regrouped in a hotel in Krakow with some other expats, watching live in the hotel bar as a 40-mile long column of Russian armor rolled on Kyiv. I had to tap out, head for the local hospital in search of medication. Anna started volunteering at the train station, helping out with food and directions. She speaks 5 languages, so of course I'm really proud of her. I was trying to raise money for the PGA of Ukraine. We had guys fighting on the front line, and some of our moms were already in Europe looking for new homes. So we wanted to help out the families as much as we could. We started doing some media, and I don't remember everything about that time, but I do remember doing Sky News UK and talking about golf, and I do remember doing CTV Canada in the depths of a Xanax binge, and I demanded that everybody stop buying Russian gas until Putin was tried in The Hague. I remember sitting outside, savoring the way a Camel Yellow complemented a stress pill, and thinking about everything that we'd left behind in Kyiv. Our family and friends, our beautiful house, our lovable cat, Smokey, writing and acting for television, hosting an open mic, playing in a band, and Kyiv Golf Club and all our friends in the awesome Ukrainian golf community. Kyiv Golf Club is destroyed. 36 gorgeous holes ripped up by Russian paratroopers in the first week of the war. The thing that finally snapped me out of my daze was the realization that Russia sucks at war. Russia sucks at war the way Disney sucks at Star Wars. Talk about a parade army. I mean, yeah, Putin's got a bigger war chest, but Zelensky's got the math team kids with homemade kamikaze drones. And what's with all the frontal infantry attacks? 1860 call. They want their army tactics back. And how about all that money Putin spent modernizing his forces? Turns out the only thing he got for his money were dachas on the Black Sea for his supply officers. Those new night vision goggles went on eBay faster than a North Korean in pursuit of a cheeseburger. Some people saw us on Sky News, and they knew some people in the Spanish Golf Federation. One thing led to another, and we got a job offer in Spain. Candeleta, a sleepy little resort town in the Gredos Mountains. They helped us out with everything, finding an apartment, getting settled. We took photos with the mayor, learned Spanish as fast as we could. Movie Star Golf, the Spanish Golf Channel, did a 30-minute special on us, telling our story. It was called De Kyiv a Candeleta. And that led to a charity tournament in Mallorca, where we raised even more money for the Red Cross and the PGA of Ukraine. Candeleta will always have a place in our hearts. Danny and Andres and Carlos, the mayor, they all did so much for us. We could have stayed there until the war was over. But then we got some news that changed everything. We found out we were going to have our first child. In the summer of 23, the Ukrainians were doing pretty well in the war. Russia was looking feeble. And friends and family in Kyiv said, it's getting pretty normal around here. We really wanted to share the birth of our son with our family in Ukraine. So we loaded up the car and hit the Autobahn. And don't believe the height, it sucks. It's 2 lanes most of the way. The right lane is all slow trucks. And as soon as you pull out to pass, you got some trust funder in an Audi Quattro on your 6 like the Red Baron. We crossed the border into Ukraine. Drove down the Zhytomyr highway as we neared Kyiv. That's the same place where that Russian 40-mile column of armor, tanks and artillery came down looking for trouble. That's where the Ukrainian army made their stand. And that's where my golf course was. The whole place is burned out buildings, knocked down overpasses, bullet holes. It's worse than Detroit. We learned pretty fast what it's like to live in a time of war. The day my son was born, the sirens went off. We had to gather him up and head for the bomb shelter. It's a very poorly kept secret that Putin considers maternity hospitals legitimate military targets. Overall, it felt pretty safe in Kyiv that fall of 23. Yeah, there'd be an occasional Iranian drone passing overhead, sounding like a lawnmower. But the locals shot them down with German ACAC, and they really weren't that big of a problem. But over New Year's, the Russians changed tactics. They started saving up their missiles for some giant fuck-all barrage a couple times a month. I remember one morning waking up and watching the locals playing Atari Missile Command over my house. And that's when I realized that we jumped the gun on coming home. At that point, we decided to look for work outside of Ukraine. And I cannot overstate my gratitude to the Spanish Golf Federation for extending us another lifeline. This time overlooking the sparkling Mediterranean. U-Golf Academy, Mo Hacker, Marina Golf Club. Some of the sweetest views this side of Pebble Beach. I get to run the academy here, and I've got students coming in from around the world to train and play and relax in the warm Spanish sun. I think it's interesting. I became the interesting golf pro shortly after arriving. I wanted to channel the flavors of Super Dave Osborne, Ben Hogan, and Ricardo Montalban. I know that day will come when we can go back to Kyiv, but until that day I'll be here. I'm going to keep making videos with swing tips and the occasional update on golf in Ukraine. Like and subscribe if you like the content. Thanks for watching.